I mean, it's really not bad. It happens so quick, you honestly aren't really aware of what's going on in the air.
Let me ask you this. How does somebody learn to pole vault?
I got chased with a go-kart by my driver's ed instructor.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, recorded live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
So now in the year of 2020, do you think Hoobastank regrets their name? Like, do you think Hoobastank looks back and goes, no, I'm still really attached to that name?
It's the reason.
I was going to say, I think you're the reason.
Yeah? Man, I just
That
feel like
they
I'm
would
spinning out
regret
of...
naming themselves Hoobastank.
I feel like I'm spinning out of control, guys.
Oh my God.
Out of control. Out of control.
Listen, I really liked their song "Crawling in the Dark." I'm sorry.
Everyone does, but
I thought it was a good song. "Crawling in the Dark." It was their first single.
Crawling in the dark.
It didn't go like that at all.
No.
It sounded nothing. It sounded nothing like that.
Was it the one spinning out of control? Is that what I'm thinking?
I think they probably regretted the name immediately after they put out an album with it and they were on it.
Be like, here, check it out, Hoobastank. And then they went to the symbol, which was like the infinity symbol because it was 2 O's. And then people were like, no. You're not printing your name out of this. You're Hoobastank.
Well, anyway.
They were featured on the Daredevil soundtrack.
Now, let's put some stank on this podcast.
Now that we've talked about Hoobastank, which is really the important thing.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Beacon House Podcast, everybody. How you guys doing today? Hopefully everybody's surviving the phased reopening and the pandemic and all that kind of stuff, wherever you are in the country or whatever. And we have a very special guest today, a returning guest.
Returning.
Casey, tell them who we've got today.
Sam Elliott.
We have Hunter's bad jokes.
Those return a little more frequently than we would like. But we actually have another lovely co-host with us today.
Hannah Isosaki.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Did I nail it?
Yes, you did.
Fuck yes.
That's right. Famous for many, many things, not the least of which is her Twitch channel, which we're going to talk about today, and also from being a past guest on the Beacon House Podcast.
Yeah,
how are you doing?
Back.
I'm doing well.
Say hi to our audience and tell us about you.
Hi. I am a meat popsicle.
Strong.
I don't know. I don't even know how to introduce myself at this point. You want to do it?
Ooh.
Okay, be Hannah Isosaki.
No, I have a question. I've been dying to ask you since I sat down in this chair.
Yeah?
Tom Nook, slumlord or no? Because I think Tom Nook's a fucking slumlord.
I would agree. Also, I hate... Oh, God. Animal Crossing, I understand why it has the appeal that it does. It is the most mundane game in existence.
It's so tiring.
I hate... You start the game and you immediately go into debt. This is way too close to home.
I'm now.
They should just call that game college.
Yeah, it's just freaking life.
It basically is.
Except for in cute animal form. Until you get stung by a bee.
Oh, fucking bees. And tarantulas. But you get a house and it's only 348,000 in-game currency that you have to owe this motherfucker.
Freaking bills.
Slumlord. That's it. That's all. I've been dying.
Also, why don't they wear pants sometimes?
I don't know. I wish I could take my pants off in the game, but it won't let me.
You could take your pants
fucking
off
Barry
now.
the Beaver can walk around and go fishing with his dick hanging out, but I have to wear pants.
I'm surprised you didn't say with his beaver hanging out. Could have been her.
Could have been, but it wasn't.
Okay, well, that's fair.
He had 2 tails, if you know what I mean.
Damn.
Oh my God.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I hope that one lands for you guys later.
It feels so dirty.
I mean, yeah. The only thing with the fun in there is that you can fish and you can catch things. I like that you can pole vault. That is fun.
And you like that because you have some experience with that.
Yeah.
Tell everybody. Tell us your backstory.
I have pole vaulted.
There
is my backstory.
Hannah is a champ. Were you a champion pole vaulter? Just a pole vaulter?
I was a pole vaulter. I did get a scholarship for it when I initially went to Milligan College. It was a lot of fun, and then I broke my foot, so that was a little less fun.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was fun.
I
Going
think it
up,
looks scary
coming
as
down was
shit.
a little awkward. I mean, it's really not bad. It happens so quick, you honestly aren't really aware of what's going on in the air.
Let me ask you this. How does somebody learn to pole vault?
I got chased with a go-kart by my driver's ed instructor who was telling me that I wouldn't pass driver's ed unless I tried pole vaulting in track and field that year.
What?
Welcome to the life of Hannah Isosaki, where everything is confusing and there's no fucking rules.
I don't know that we can handle that story.
Yeah, his name was Mr. Pitt.
Is this real?
He also had a lazy eye. So he was the driver's ed teacher. He was the wrestling coach, the football coach, the track and field coach.
Did you go to my school?
Were you in Illinois?
No, but we had just one guy that did a lot of that shit.
I think that's called a budget.
He also assaulted high school girls.
We had a few of those, but that one wasn't this guy. But yeah, it was weird. He chased me with the go-kart and told me to run faster because otherwise I was going to get run over. And then you've got like this little box in the track, and it's like pretty much 1 foot by 2 feet, and it kind of goes down at an angle. And then you're holding like a 10 to 12 foot pole, or if you're, a guy, sometimes it's bigger than that.
Depending on what you tell people.
I had a pretty big pole, thank you very much. But then you have to try to manage to lower it at the right freaking time to make that target and then jump high enough to get over.
How high?
They usually start you off at like 6 feet. Well, actually, they just kind of like don't die at first. And hopefully you go in the right direction. But I've seen some pretty crazy stuff happen.
Have you seen the video of the pole vaulter who goes up? It's a guy. He goes up and over, and he clears it.
And it hits him in the nads.
And on the way down, the pole goes under the bar, and he lands nad first on the. Then you see his face change, like, I did it. And then it spears his dick with the pole, and he goes, oh my God, my life has ended.
And then it cuts to that scene of Pavarotti singing, whoa! Have you seen those videos?
No, it just cuts to the credits of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Gosh. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff. I saw. One of the chicks I vaulted with, she went into the standards one time. So the standards is what holds that bar up. So they have a bunch of spikes on them because you have to set the bar on top of it. So she took down one of those. There was this other female vaulter who, she was vaulting really, really high. She was super good. But she came down on top of the bar and then landed on it and snapped the bar in half and then had to go to the emergency room because she hit it with her back.
Jesus.
And then one of the guys I vaulted with, he actually managed to snap the pole halfway through. And the freaking force of this fiberglass pole breaking broke his arm.
This is not funny. Why are we laughing? Why are we giggling?
It is.
We laugh when we're uncomfortable.
Trauma.
No, because people getting hurt is funny.
When it's not you.
Well, speaking of that,
of course. When it's
what if in the?
I don't like it when it happens to me.
So, speaking of people being hurt, in the town that we all hail from here, in lovely little Knoxville, Tennessee. How are you? What have you guys been noticing with the little phased reopening? Have you been out? Have you seen the public?
Oh, yeah. I noticed first that we continued to reopen despite the fact that our active cases were growing by the day. And then when I went out into public, I realized that every fuckwad that has a half a brain and a heartbeat thinks that nothing ever happened. I think they literally went into a coma for 5 weeks and woke up and went, oh, shit, I got to go to work.
Pretty much
It's been great.
What have you seen, Hannah?
I haven't seen too much just because I haven't been out much.
Smart lady.
Because I do work with people who are a little bit older, and I don't want to put them at risk.
Right.
I think that's really important.
Right.
But I do think it's pretty crappy considering that I come from a service industry, job for the most part, throughout college and everything. That the people who are trying to push for the reopening are like, I need haircuts and I want to go to restaurants. I'm like, you obviously don't care about the people that are serving you and taking care of those, needs that you have because. I mean, all you care about is getting your hair cut. You don't care about, your service provider who is putting themselves at risk multiple times a day because you need to freaking get your bangs trimmed.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's really inconsiderate.
The one that really got me was the lady up in Michigan when they were blocking off. They made a traffic jam on purpose to block off hospitals and Congress buildings and stuff. This happened 2 weeks ago.
That's ridiculous.
It was one of the first protests because the Michigan governor was extending the stay-at-home order. Mm-hmm. And this lady is in her car with her husband. And she's just like, I need to get my hair done. And she does this and shows the top of her head that has gray hairs and her roots are turning gray. Mm-hmm. But then someone took, a hairstylist who was upset by that video, took the information and did the research and found out that lady hadn't had her hair done in over half a year. And so she was just full of shit.
Yep.
Man, I will say we didn't really know what to do. And I work at a restaurant. We've been open this whole time, but not for people to come in. Or they have to come in and immediately leave. They can't stay in there. But we are right next to a very popular college bar, which I'm not going to name, because I am friends with the owner and some of the people who work there. So I'm not in any way trying to claim irresponsibility on the part of anybody other than the public. But literally on the very first day, things started to reopen. And I think they were going to be open at 4 p.m. At 3 p.m., there was a line of people, five wide, no masks, no distance. They were just piled up all over each other. It looked like a concert was about to open their doors.
It's weird. It's almost like no one follows the phase.
They were going all the way from their door
stupid.
out to the curb and then all the way down the sidewalk. There had to have been at least 50 to 100 people just waiting to get in. Everybody, some of them were just drinking like White Claws and stuff, standing out on the sidewalk.
White Claw's law, baby.
At the same time, I heard people say that the mall was just packed. So I don't know how
That's
these
a
places
first.
are.
No one ever freaking goes to the mall here.
Yeah. I don't know how these people are handling this, but I will say this. The way that the general public is approaching the reopening doesn't give me a whole lot of hope. I don't know.
Well, I also feel like
doesn't look promising out there. That's all I'm saying.
Natural selection.
I am not
How long
in a
until
hurry.
we close down again?
I'm not in
2
a
weeks.
You think?
I think
weeks.
they're going to make us
I
wait
see.
the 28 days.
No, I think.
But that's when
I
the
think-
zombies come back, and I'm not ready
let's
for
see,
that.
Let's say
Oh my
the
God, I didn't even
third.
piece that together.
Yeah.
I'd say by the 12th, you're going to see this huge jump in cases, and they're going to halt everything and go, uh-oh.
But I'm essential. I'm never gonna
Like the
get a
moment
vacation.
gyms opened up, I knew people who went
Yeah.
straight to the gym, and I'm just like, don't do that. And see, that's what I want to know because
But-
even like you said last podcast, your friend said that people were hemorrhaging. Is that part of COVID-19
Well,
or is that something they died
It wasn't
from
my
and
friend.
they-
That was my doctor.
doctor, sorry.
But she
Is
also.
your doctor not your friend?
I don't know. I wish she was my friend. She's really smart.
Her fingers go in your
but
butt
what I want to know
sometimes.
is like, is that
Not
actually,
yet.
Very close friends.
Not yet, but I think in 6 months we're going to cross that bridge. She did
bake a
say,
cake.
she goes, you don't need to come back for a while, but it probably needs to be a physical. So we're going to get there. Yeah, I know. I'm going to take flowers. I'm not going to pull them out until like the fingers up. Anyway, so she didn't say anybody else was dying from it, but people were now starting to get lesions on their feet and hemorrhages and blood clots and things like that.
But is that a part of it, or is that something else that
Well,
people
is
just
COVID
think?
itself what kills you, or is it
the complications
symptoms
that arise. Yeah.
And do you die either way? Like a lot of the deaths were switched from COVID to pneumonia, but
But they still have COVID if there's,
My question is, how many of those cases of pneumonia were caused by COVID? Nobody really knows how deadly it is. That's the point. Until you get results of like real strict antibody tests, you're not going to know how many people actually beat it and never even knew they had it, or how deadly
Fair.
it is. Like I said, the two doctors I spoke to, including one of which is mine, are both take it very seriously, and that they both said you better be careful and it's better to wear a mask if you're out around other people. If you're not around people, you don't have to wear a mask. That's the thing. By the way, we got that from the health department this week. I think I sent it to you guys, but it took a minute for us to figure out if everybody in the restaurant had to have a mask or not. And it turns out, as long as you're staying 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from everybody, it's not necessary to wear a mask, even in public. I actually was in favor of the reopening.
And that's
How about
fine.
now?
Totally.
Really?
Yeah.
I would actually side with that too. I think maybe the thing that's flawed though is people. Like the structure itself
That's where I'm at.
is sound. The design that they had kind of released about it regarding the rules and the regulations, that stuff made sense. However, people are assholes and inconsiderate.
And, see,
And you're
that's-
always going to have that weird 20% that's going to be angry at everything.
That's where I'm exactly with her. I was 100%. We don't have the numbers to support staying closed. We have almost no cases.
Yeah.
We've had nearly no deaths. The risk is way worse to close the economy. I think it was time for it to open, but I agree with Hannah. People are just stupid about it. If people would really be careful and follow the rules, it would be a very safe, calculated reopening. I don't think we would look like idiots to the rest of the country. But what I saw on Friday, people lined up down the street like, "Woo! It's spring break."
Well, on a,
That's not
on a
good.
truly
Not very enlightening.
serious note, though, not to be a dick for
You could be a
once on
dick.
this
I'm not
podcast.
gonna
No, I've been
judge you.
being one all day.
Could be a dick.
The thing that I'm worried about is not that we reopened, but the implication it has for my family and people
Right.
like us, in that at a certain point, if we get called back to work, I'm already high risk because of my condition, but my wife is also high risk because she has a chronic illness that is specifically about breathing. I don't want to go to work and then bring it home to her and then be responsible for killing her because I decided that I couldn't say no to my boss because we needed that money,
Right.
even though the hours are cut. So at
Yeah.
that point, it's lie on unemployment and get in trouble with the IRS, or go in and not make enough money to pay rent
Yeah.
and potentially kill my wife.
Well, we
Sure.
also have a very different case because
I don't really-
Tennessee in general has a significantly lower cost of living.
Right.
So that government money it gets you a lot further. So it's more of an
also true.
incentive to not work. But like if you take New York, for example, if you go ahead and give them $1,200, they're going to look at you and be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Get a goddamn gumball? Like,
Yeah, I could go buy toilet
of their
paper
water
if they
bill,
were
maybe.
selling it.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
even if they were on unemployment, I mean, it still wouldn't benefit nearly as much as we are. So I feel like Tennessee is a little bit of a special case regarding asking people to come back to work.
Casey, where are you at on it?
Alex Jones is okay with eating his neighbors.
Talk to me about this Alex Jones story.
I've been waiting.
I got this for you.
I will eat my neighbors. I'm not letting my kids die. I'm just going to be honest. My superpower is being honest. I've extrapolated this out, and I won't have to for a few years because I got food and stuff. But I'm literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I'm ready to hang them up and gut them and skin them and chop them up. And you know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors.
We should
But
have
There
also,
you
wouldn't
go.
the daughters eat the neighbors too? Like you're gonna
we
get
should have just played that rather than talk about doctors and stuff. We should have just
That's-
played that.
So wait, if he eats his neighbors, does that mean we're gonna have a surge and increase in Wendigos?
Dude,
Can you imagine being his neighbor and watching that video and going,
now give us the context on that. Tell how recent is that?
that was last week? Like, I'm talking Wednesday or Thursday
And
this
how
past
many
week.
neighbors put their house up to sale?
I don't know, but
Well,
all I
it's
know
real
is just
estate.
all I know is I was hanging out online with my buddy Jason Turner, and he goes, "Why is Alex Jones trending?" And I was like, "I don't know." And we both pulled up Twitter and we looked, and that was the video that popped up, and we couldn't stop laughing at how ridiculous this man is. The guy who can't remember his children's name because he ate too much chili the night before now is going to eat his neighbors to save his kids.
Why are they letting Alex Jones back on the internet again?
Oh no, he has his own. He does it himself.
I mean, I believe in free
that's why I know.
speech.
That's why I know YouTube won't take it down because he literally uploads it himself.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
man, that's a hot mess.
So there's that.
Do you think he'd go the route of barbecue?
Huh?
He seems like the barbecue type.
Oh, he'd make chili.
He does.
He loves chili.
Chili.
He would be like he'd be real Cartman from South Park with it.
So that okay. So there's that, and then have you guys heard about the murder hornets?
Yes. So these hornets, they do come from Japan. They're an invasive species, obviously, considering they come from Japan. Here, they don't really have anything that can kill them effectively when it comes to natural means.
Isn't there a bird? I thought initially because usually when something like that moves in, they try to figure out what eats it, and they try to bring that in, and it'll usually clear it up.
I'm not sure if there's anything new. So
Okay.
there could be a bird. I mean, that could totally be a thing. But I do know that in Japan, some of the bees have actually adapted to kill it. So one of these wasps in I think it's like an hour can take down 30,000 bumblebees.
Yeah, like
Which
fuck
is-
up a whole hive.
It's like, great, because we don't, need more bees anyway. Let's go ahead and fucking kill 30,000 of them.
We don't get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need them. We'll be fine. We're great. We'll use flies. Yep. But
That's not honey anymore.
no,
Fly
it's
honey.
nasty as shit. But so the bees in Japan, what they'll do is, so obviously hornet goes into beehive, starts, ripping shit up because he's a party crasher.
They literally behead the bees. They just knock their fucking heads right off.
Dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
But what the bees are doing there is they're actually dogpiling the wasp. So they all literally pile on top of it, and then they start vibrating. And they vibrate so fast that it creates heat, and they cook it until it dies.
Fuck.
That's metal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fucking metal.
I'm like,
That's some
thank you,
sci-fi
Japan.
bullshit right
Thank you. So obviously, our bees have not learned that skill yet because they're slow as shit.
Are you guys ready for the
American
movie?
bees, yeah.
They're going to make a fucking movie about this.
yeah,
hope
they
so.
mosh pit on that wasp.
Exactly, it's the most metal thing ever. But
Dang.
The
yeah.
wall of death in a beehive.
But also, from what I heard, is if you get stung by one of those things, it could put you in the hospital.
I know it can make your liver. It can fuck your liver
Yeah.
up.
I think they're really big around Mount Fiji.
Interesting.
don't
Well, we
know.
hope they don't make it to
Dude,
Tennessee
now-
because I like all my
Let
bees.
me ask you this: do they single out people, or is it one of those things where if you fuck with
They're
it, it'll fuck with
aggressive.
you?
Wasps,
They're very
wasps
aggressive.
want to sting you.
Yeah.
Wasps and
Well,
hornets
that's the thing.
want to sting
Growing
you.
up, like, you had wasp all over your house, and it
Well,
never like
these fly
went
solo.
after- Hornets, however, hornets
Yeah.
would come after you
Yeah.
from a mile away and chase you, but wasps would give up and
Well, these things
fuck
kind of
off.
go solo too. Like they don't have like a home base where like 8 of them go and hang out or anything like that. It's just more like this thing is wandering around, and if it sees you, it's like, I'm gonna go sting this bitch in the butt. And
It's
then
ac-
you're like,
yeah, it's actually relatively hard to get a bee, like a honeybee, to sting you. But anything that's got a smooth stinger that doesn't destroy it when it stings you, Like if a honeybee stings you, it's kind of a kamikaze move. It's gone after that.
Aren't wasps like that too? Hornets aren't, but wasps.
No. Wasps have a smooth stinger.
They
Yellow
can sting
jackets have a
multiple
smooth stinger.
times.
They can sting you as many times as they want. It doesn't hurt them at all.
I got stung one time when I was in like 4th grade, right in the lip. I couldn't talk for like 3 days.
It was like you did the Kylie Jenner
exactly.
lip
It
challenge.
it was bad. It was so bad. I was a very sad Hannah that day.
Do you have any pictures?
No.
Okay.
I pretty much looked like Animal Crossing when you get stung by the wasp.
Yeah, like one eye open. You're like, ugh.
Perfect. That's perfect. So in this the next chapter of 2020, which is turning into be the weirdest fucking year.
I'm just waiting for Yellowstone to erupt.
Like
I'm waiting for it too.
Something's
Absolutely.
gonna happen. What the fuck is going to happen next?
Here's
I don't know.
here's the thing that bothers me
apocalypse.
about the Yellowstone volcano is in the
Is
last
it a volcano or a geyser?
It's a volcano.
Oh, okay.
It's a super volcano.
Active?
Yellowstone National Park is the mouth of this massive volcano.
See, I don't know much about it. Is it weird that they built a national park on an active
They
volcano?
didn't know. They thought the geysers were just something really cool, but then like geologists and seismologists, earthquake doctors,
Seismologists?
Earthquake doctors.
Earthquake
Can we
doctors.
please just call them earthquake doctors for now on?
earthquake scientists. Are they called seismologists?
Hey,
I think so.
Yeah.
Dr. Quake,
But they
Earthquake.
Sergeant Starfish.
they put information and found out it was a super volcano to the point that if it erupt would cover the entire earth in ash.
Yeah,
Like massive.
right.
That's a mood killer.
Here recently, you've been having all these Midwest states have these like 6.5, 7.0 magnetite, like huge earthquakes. And you're just like, fuck, please stop. It's like the whole Midwest is going, and it's just getting ready for something.
Dude, I saw a meme where they said 10 years from now, if we survive, anytime you like go to buy something and your total comes up to 2020, you're going to have these flashbacks. Oh no.
Everyone has PTSD.
Hello, darkness, my old
Oh my
friend.
god, I love it. I love it so much.
It'll be the disturbed version though, because it'll be 20 years from now.
All right, so let's talk about something else. Something else that hit the airwaves today. Did you guys see the picture of our mayors? Both mayors, the city and county mayor, were standing in front of this gigantic thing.
Man, I'm glad that people are, like there's a pandemic going on and we're all excited about a fucking truck.
Dude, before I read the actual,
Do you mean the armored personnel carrier?
have you seen it?
I heard
Yeah,
it's
I've
supposed to be
seen that.
carrying COVID-19 tests to people.
Will you show the picture? Show her the picture. While
I'll
I'm
pull
talking.
it up. I don't know what it is. Here's the thing. I'm pulling the
Our
picture.
friend
up, sorry,
Will,
but just
our friend and yours, Will,
Yeah.
was not impressed.
there were
by
so
it
many
at all.
people that were angry, and here's the thing. I don't understand the anger, so I'm excited to get into it. I'm confused by it because it looks like the fucking marine carrier from Aliens.
Yep.
But
It looks like a Tesla 2020 pickup truck. It's all boxed
It does.
off.
It looks like it's made out of. It looks terrible. It looks like it's made out of like lumber or something, been painted to look like a. So,
I bet that's all they could do with the economy shut down.
in case anybody didn't catch this today, by the time you hear this, everybody's probably going to be talking. about
I
it.
actually drew that when I was in the 3rd grade. I actually drew that exact truck.
Turns out, before everybody, literally the comments were searing. I noted some of my favorite comments. There were like when I saw it hours and hours and hours ago, there were like 385 comments. Here are some of my favorites. The first one was, so the health department has a tank? People just immediately started calling it a tank, which to me is hilarious. And then they said, can we rent it for parties? Another guy said, what's going on? Are we about to invade Oak Ridge? Which is the neighboring town. And then somebody that was really serious, she said, this is scary. It's making my anxiety worse, and I'm shaking.
Can I interject one comment just since I have the picture pulled up?
Get me.
Y'all ain't standing 6 feet apart.
So, it was.
Which is a fair point. Actually, you know what?
What did you guys think about?
I
Think
bet
about
they
it.
were.
That
Yeah,
listen,
exactly.
that truck has to be massive because look at Glenn Jacobs standing in
He
front
looks
of it.
little next to it.
I think he's
I
compensating.
thought that was an average man. It's even bigger.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's the fucking Batmobile.
So
So
look,
tomorrow when he tweets, he's going to tweet all the numbers about like who has the COVID, and at the very bottom he's going to say new tanks in Knoxville up 1 from yesterday.
Yeah.
well, it turns out the police department's had that thing for a long time. And it's in
It
case,
looks like it.
It's in case of like urban warfare where there's like bombs or something. It can
Are
go
we
in.
having that issue?
Well, it's also like a biochem thing. Like it's got filters. So
They're also prepping for the war with China.
I don't know
that's
why
imminent.
they brought it out. They brought it out for some reason and took pictures to thank the health department by standing in front of it.
Do you guys remember seeing that boat in the Magnum PI season 2 episode where
No.
he went? Okay.
I like how quick you just freaking shut him down. No.
Magnum PI season 2. Hang on a second. Let me get my Rolodex going here.
Saying. That boat was cutting edge back then.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's
Hey,
not.
Spence, have you seen MASH season 4, episode 7, where they brought in a helicopter that had that tank attached to the bottom of it?
Wait a minute. Is that the one where everybody's wearing green?
Yeah.
No, that's the one where everyone treats everyone because of bat guano disease.
How do you know that Magnum PI even had a season 2?
Because
I just
of
thought
Joe
Magnum
Rogan.
PI was one season of 110 episodes. I didn't know shows had seasons until
Yeah, I thought that
2015.
was nothing but like.
Well,
fake-
they didn't, but
Disney Plus came out, and I was like, The Simpsons had a season, and they have 30 of them? I just thought they just kept going. I thought it was like an anime.
Yeah.
It's like in The Simpsons season 1, episode 1206.
It's Dragon Ball Z. Just takes forever.
Man.
Bleach.
Kayfie.
Oh, God. One Piece?
Well,
One
listen,
Piece is almost at 2,000 episodes, I think.
Ridiculous.
let's get on to talking about our guest and her life here before
what
we
a
run
great
out of
life
time.
it is.
I thought she was just co-hosting.
Yeah, I'm just chilling like a villain, man.
Talk to us about your Twitch experience. You've started to get a lot going on the Twitch. Let's get into that.
Okay, so one of my friends who I was working with, she had a Twitch for a long time, so she was streaming. And she encouraged me to go ahead and start one, especially when everything started hitting the fan and everyone was staying home for the most part. I luckily got 2 weeks off, so I was like, yes. And then I had to go back to work, which kind of sucked. But I went ahead and started the Twitch up and started my own channel streaming. So I started playing Monster Hunter. I was playing Iceborne, so killing a bunch of things, cutting off the booties of dragons, and horrible profanities and very interesting comments in the chat section. But it's hilarious.
Sounds amazing.
It's a lot of fun, and the channel has been growing at a freaking crazy rate. But it's hilarious just how the people interact with each other on there, because it's just the funniest freaking thing I've ever seen. These people are super intelligent, come from weird, different backgrounds all over the world, and they enjoy the fact that I talk about booty.
Talk to us about that booty.
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 Do you cut off dragon booties to make helmets out?
I do.
I haven't picked up Iceborne, but I love Monster Hunter.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Freaking beautiful. Oh my gosh.
I love the cats that.
The Pelicos?
Yes, and they cook for you,
I
and it's so
know.
fucking cute.
There's that really masculine one who's got like the scar over his eye and he's all like, "Argh." I'm just like, I feel like her name is Fluffy, although I know it's not. But I feel like it could be.
Yeah.
It's cool. And you can send out a whole group of those cats to go kill monsters in your downtime. Like, it's just freaking hilarious.
And people can watch you play this?
Yeah, so they watch me play it. So if you're not familiar with Twitch in general, so it's a place that you can live stream video games, music, art, stuff of that nature. And you can go have people who follow, subscribe, donate if they feel inclined to do so. And there's a whole chat section. So while you are streaming, you are interacting with them via video and audio. And you kind of get to, I guess, spend time with the people in your chat while killing things, potentially, depending on what video game you're playing. But it's a good place to get to know people, meet new people, just get involved in video games and learn more about them, and just have a hell of a good time if you want to, like, I don't know, kill 3 hours.
Now, am I correct in this? Because I follow most of your social media. I think probably everything except Snapchat. I'm not even on Snapchat.
You should
But
totally get on Snapchat.
everybody says that. Yeah, who
Do
knows?
it.
Who knows?
All the cat pictures.
But are you typically streaming about the same time every day?
Yeah, so I'm pretty consistent. So when I had started with intentions to try to keep things as steady as possible, even if people came back to work. So like I wasn't like streaming at like 2:00 every day because if I had to go back to work, it's like, well, let's go ahead and change that to later in the evening because that can really like mess up people who do watch you consistently. So usually I stream about 6:30 until like 9:30, Tuesdays through Saturdays.
Eastern time.
Yes.
For those of you that may be listening from elsewhere.
And it's also really tough to keep followers on Twitch. Like, I've heard a lot of people. Now, I don't know if you've run into this problem yet, but like, I've heard people who are like big streamers. I mean, we had our friend Vari for a while, and her comments were always, it doesn't matter how many days you stream, you always end up losing like 5 followers a day, it seems like.
I have not encountered that at this point.
She's also sponsored by Corsair.
Oh, okay.
And so she has like all this free swag and shit. So, I mean, she's doing something
What is
right
she
because
playing?
she's She usually plays Warcraft.
Probably.
She also just plays like weird fucking indie like games that you can play with your streamers, like some marble game
Okay.
that their streamers can like type in a code and they get their own marble, and then she releases it in all these marbles, and then she like fucking gives somebody a prize, whoever wins, kind of shit. Like,
It sounds that she bounces over different categories. That could be why she loses some followers, because if they're watching her specifically for when she plays this World of Warcraft and then all of a sudden she switches to another game, they drop off because they don't know, like, hey, is she going to stay in this game or is she coming back to the old one?
Yeah.
If there's a lack of communication or involvement, sometimes they'll move to a different channel. That's why I try to stay consistent with the game that I'm playing. The only day that I kind of mix things up is on Tuesdays. So Tuesdays is usually when I play like Animal Crossing, or eventually I'm going to move to Borderlands because I love it.
Can you guys please? I know you joked about it earlier. Can you two please talk about Animal Crossing for a little bit longer? Because I didn't know about it until this happened, and it clearly exploded. And I saw the joke. You made the joke.
Tom Nook's a slumlord.
Yeah, I saw that on a playthrough, like in the first 10 minutes, and I was like, why in the fuck do people play this?
Oh, it's so weird.
It's
It's
awful.
very weird. So Animal Crossing New Horizons is the new one. Animal Crossing's been around for a really long time. Like,
See, I didn't know that.
GameCube days.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then they had
It's
a bunch of iterations on the Nintendo DS, which was the handheld after the Game Boy. But Animal Crossing, what it is it's basically a slice of life game where in this game you start on a deserted island with a couple other people, like other residents, and you just chop down trees, plant flowers, and build your life into the point where your island is a small bustling town from scratch. And every day you can only play like 2 or 3 hours a day, and then the game is basically like you reach a wall,
Yeah,
and it
there's
goes
nothing
like
else you can really
he's
do.
like, yeah, we're doing construction on this building, it won't be ready till tomorrow, you can do this, but then that won't be ready till tomorrow either.
It's all in real
makes
time.
it's all real time. It makes you stop when it's nighttime. In your real life it's nighttime in game. If it's raining outside, there's a good chance it's raining in game.
Yeah.
And there's different stuff that happens at night during the day. There's different stuff that happens when it's raining, when it's not. And honestly, it's just supposed to be like this real zen, hop in, play it for a little while, decompress.
While paying off
However,
loans.
it came out
Yeah.
right when this pandemic hit, and you can't find a Nintendo Switch right now.
No, you can't.
They sold so many consoles with this game. It's ridiculous.
Interesting.
Well, and people really like the fact that you can customize so many things in this one, too.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of people making scenes from TV shows and replicas and stuff. Elijah Wood even popped in on someone, was like super wholesome about it and like was checking out their house. You should look it up online. It's hilarious.
Shit.
Watch
I
that.
know. I was like, oh, Elijah Wood. It's a lot of grinding, for sure. So,
But I will say, people like you who can build a following, I have the utmost respect because it's
helps that I'm
hard.
a very pretty girl. I will say that is definitely a factor.
It also
Hey.
people are like, you
Casey's
should.
a very pretty girl.
Well,
He can be,
People
for
are
sure.
like, you should stream, and I'm like, I will, but I'm not going to put a camera on me because nobody wants to see that. So the last time I had my camera, I pointed it behind my TV and made it film my cat.
Actually, people love that stuff. Yeah, they
had a cat
definitely
cam.
like seeing pets. So I haven't had any real big issues in my chat though. I mean, that was one thing that I was kind of warned about. Going into it, they're like, things can get a little rowdy, and I'm like, have you guys met me?
Yeah.
Like, I think I'll be fine, but okay. It is a little weird. So it's a lot of people who really want your attention, which is very similar to bartending. So it's something that I handle pretty
wow,
well.
that's an interesting
It's
analogy.
literally,
I wouldn't have thought about that.
It's bartending with video games.
Didn't our most recent guest, Will, didn't he log in one time?
He did.
Can you
and
share
he
this?
made-
Can you share this story?
Yeah, so, okay, so the first time he logged in to see it, like, he just had the weirdest screen name. So, I mean, I didn't recognize it was
You didn't know it
Will.
was him?
No, I had no idea. And it was the first, like, odd comment I've ever had on there. It was, get a job. And I was just like, who are you, my mom? Like, I didn't realize she got a Twitch. And I was like, but I do have a job. I'm essential. I'm like, this is just the second job at that point. And then eventually he came back and he's like, oh, it's me as Will. And I was just like, oh, hey, how are you doing? That
probably
makes
should
way
lead
more
off with
sense.
that. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm sure everybody in the chat jumped on it. 'cause,
Well,
like,
they didn't at that point, but they were a little confused. So they kind of just bypassed it. But the second time he came into the chat, oh my gosh, I guess he made a few of them a little uncomfortable just because it's Will. I love it. And Will's just really forward. He's just like, so when do I get to see the boobies or something like that? And they're just like,
Dude.
excuse me.
Do you guys?
Oh man. Well, here's what's funny. I'm pretty sure during one of those exchanges, our friend Alea, our mutual friend and previous guest, was going there to do takeout from him.
Oh, really?
And he was at the bar with his laptop open, and they were like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, just screw with Hannah on Twitch," you know. And he like showed him like where he was like typing and changing his name and stuff.
God, he's so funny.
I'm pretty sure they overlapped like that.
So my dad jumped in.
What?
So this is so interesting. You'll get a kick out of this. So
Did he play harmonica?
No, he didn't. Oh God, no. So my brother started first. So all of a sudden I get this text message from my brother who's like, "Hey, me and Felicia, we made a Twitch," and I'm just like, "For what?" Okay, that's fine. And then they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna be playing VR Settlers of Catan." I'm like, "That's gonna go over great." It's like, gonna be a little difficult. So then I was like, "All right, are you doing this for like monetary reasons? You doing it for fun?" Trying to gauge like if they're really serious about this or not, because I take it very seriously. It's something I really like doing. And he's like, "No, we're just doing it for fun." I'm like, "Okay, good. I don't have to worry about that." And then like a week later, he's like, "Hey Hannah, I'm having, a Twitch, like I'm going to have a stream and we're doing worship." And I'm just like,
Wait, what?
"Yeah, you wanted to do church worship on Twitch," which I'm like, "Okay."
There is a just chatting.
Yes. And I was just like, there's DJs and stuff that have been using it, because people haven't been able to go out. And I'm like, "All right, I mean, I get it." But he's like, "You should totally like show up. It'd be really cool." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm going to go say twat waffle in my chat." Like, I am... No thanks. So my dad happened to pop in the time when I was talking to this chick. So there's this girl that I went to high school with who is now one of my mods. She's absolutely wonderful. She's super IT savvy, so it works out well. But she knows my brother because we all went to the same school. And so I was telling her that my brother has just made this, he's going to be streaming Christian music on there or whatnot. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so weird." I'm like, "I know, it's totally weird." And my dad pops into chat, "Well, I think it's real cool." And I'm like, "Oh, Dad."
I love that.
Like, why did you come in right now when I'm shit talking Joe? Like,
Shout out Tony.
he's like, "I don't know, maybe he's hanging out with snakes." I'm like, "Dad, he's not Pentecostal. I don't think there's going to be snakes involved. But if there was, I'd be curious and I'd maybe hop in."
Dude.
But I thought it was
Don't
funny.
put that into the ether.
So
He'll start playing with snakes.
I'm going to be real honest with you, and I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret how neurotic I am and how much I worry about what others think on a daily basis inside my own head. I've jumped into your stream a couple times.
Oh, really?
Under the Beacon House Twitch name because that's what's on my phone, and I'm just too lazy to switch over. And I've never chatted because I'm afraid that you would think that I'm trying to promote myself and the podcast on your stream. So
totally
I'm just
good.
like, I'm just going to
Absolutely.
lurk and be quiet.
You could do whatever you want. Oh my gosh.
That was
no.
totally just you totally explaining why you're creepy.
You're not,
I'm just super neurotic. I'm like, I want to say hi, but then I
Totally
don't want to
say
be like,
hi.
it says Beacon House Podcast, and people are like, "Oh, you're self-promoting, what a dick." I'm like, I know I am
No.
such a piece of shit.
You're not a piece of shit. Not at all. Actually, I would really love that. Because honestly, you guys would be hilarious in my chat because you get along with them so well.
We would love that too.
There is one guy I'm going to name drop in here who is so freaking funny right now. He goes by Lockter J. And so I guess found this out the other day. So I also have a Discord that goes with my stream. So this Lockter J dude, apparently, so I found out via Discord that he has found my Instagram before he found my Twitch, which I was like, "Oh, that's really weird," but okay, considering he's from like Denmark. So I was like, "How the hell did you find my shit?"
Isn't it weird how, like, especially here, like, you start... I know I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No,
but
you're totally
you
good.
start a creative endeavor, and it's like, I wonder who here is going to latch on. And the first people that you notice that are, like, super passionate are somewhere else in the world.
Yeah, and I'm like, why the hell are
Every
you so
time.
far away? This
Yeah.
sucks. But so one of my tip goals that I have on Twitch right now is to go ahead and rebuild. Well, actually not rebuild, but build a gaming PC, because right now I'm gaming on a laptop, which makes it a little difficult because you can't really upgrade that. And when you need a new capture card, it is important to have shit.
Yeah.
But Dr. J is just really funny. And he's really good at trying to bait people to donate, which is just hilarious. So one of the other guys in there who goes by Sticky Ricky. That's amazing.
Wait, he goes by what?
Sticky Ricky.
Ricky Sticky.
Just checking.
Yep. And has dubbed him, the Meister of Baiting, a.k.a. Meister Baiter.
Nice.
I'm on board now.
I know, and it's just
That sounds like
hilarious.
masturbator.
What?
Do you do streamables? When people watch, they can earn like fake currency while they're watching you to then turn in for other stuff. And
We had beacon bits.
We had beacon bits is what I called them,
That's
beacon
fucking
bits.
great.
And I actually had prizes of being like, it was just like silly shit because it's fake currency.
Yeah.
It's like, get so many, turn them in, and you get like a shout out or like this and that.
Oh,
But I put
they
it down
have
at
that
the
on
very
Twitch.
bottom. I put, if you get 1 million beacon bits, which means you've watched a lot of streaming.
Yeah.
I will call somebody and break up with them for you.
Oh, that's a genius idea. Oh my god, can I doink that?
You should
And
totally
I'm gonna
do
do
it.
it.
I was
Do
like,
do it.
And I was like, and that's what I said. And so all of a sudden, I
But-
started getting people who just lurked.
Listen, if you do that, if you do offer
I will.
that,
I will absolutely
You've got to
offer that.
record.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to
Oh
record.
yeah,
them.
that's the whole point. Is you got to
Done.
record and make a video about it.
I will break up with your significant other for you.
Do this right now. Do it to all of to cap off the podcast because
Yeah.
we're about to run out of time.
Don't break up with my wife. For
No,
me.
do it.
I will not.
Pretend that his
Thank
wife
you.
has said, "Listen, I got to get rid of Hunter, but I don't know how." And they pretend that Casey and I aren't single forever, and break up with
What are you
us.
talking about?
No,
Me
wait.
and you are dating, bitch.
Pretend that
rake
we
each
broke
other
up with
over.
each other.
Okay.
And that Hunter's wife wants to leave him because she hears we're on the market now.
Oh my god,
Sorry for that.
this is
You
the
know-
worst
Oh my
episode
God.
I've ever.
Hunter
experienced.
already has a.
I'm not editing that out, you motherfucker.
Hunter,
Take
Hunter
it.
already, I feel like, has a problem with that when I give Libby hugs and I make them last too long on purpose.
Okay.
Oh,
I
you're
actually-
the
Stare him
worst.
I
directly
love
in
that
the
you
eye.
do that because of the fucking like teddy bear power move face you have.
I hug and I go,
You're
Libby,
the
I
here's the
just
thing.
missed you. She's
It's
like, I
not-
missed you too. And I look at Hunter, I'm like,
Oh
If
my
we're
God.
gonna do this, Hannah, which is fine because it's a bit, you need to set. God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's true. Casey is dating my mom in secret, so you need to set Spencer up.
What are you talking
I
about?
don't like this, but do it.
Set me up with what?
Hunter, if you keep talking about it,
Casey-
I can't do that joke.
Oh, wait, can I break up with Brandon Cobb for you?
Oh, like Brandon wants to. Yeah.
that's
Because
so much cleaner. Do that.
I love Brandon Cobb. Yes. Tell me. So Brandon Cobb's breaking with me. Hunter's mom's breaking up with Casey.
No, AJ Dave's breaking up with me.
Oh my God, who's breaking up with who? I can't.
Shit, that's pretty
Brandon
good.
Cobb
I know.
is do AJ breaking up. with Casey.
First two, Hunter. Hunter's getting a divorce, but he doesn't know it. Go.
Okay, so I am breaking up with you on behalf of your wife. Bitch,
That
you
popping
out.
sound was
You gone,
me
man.
taking the cap off my syringe because I guess I'm going to take 2 entire 30 units of insulin.
Oh, it's
Just
okay.
go to sleep and not wake up.
Well,
Now you-
Perfect.
wait,
it's
now you-
effective.
now me
it's
next,
effective.
me next.
Okay, so are you breaking up with AJ Dave, or is AJ Dave breaking up with you?
AJ Dave
Dave-
has watched your Twitch channel to the point where he has enough points for you to break up with Casey.
Wait,
Oh my God.
I thought you were talking. Oh, also, side note: there is someone who is in my Twitch because obviously I can't tell who people are because there is anonymity because of the screen names. Who knows me in real life, and I can't figure out who it is.
Oh,
so it could
that's why
actually.
when I said I wanted to tell you something, you lit up for a second. I was like,
oh yeah, I was curious. I was like, I was like, I don't know.
It's not us.
So,
He's-
not us.
so
Oh,
you have
God.
to tell Casey AJ wants to break up with him, but you also have to tell him why. You have to give him a
Oh,
reason.
yeah.
Okay.
Give him a reason.
Go.
So
Hooba stank.
Yeah, Hooba stank.
I just wanted to
Was-
bring that full circle like
It's
an
too
infinity
crunchy.
symbol.
Couldn't do it. So I would call you up, be like, hey man, so I hate to do this, but
hey, I'm just heading over to AJ's.
oh, that's awkward. You should turn the fuck around. How about you hold up there for a second, bud? We're gonna have a conversation.
Wait, what do you mean?
You know, he really is just
Why should Casey not go to AJ's now,
Oh,
Hannah? Why?
because he's in a different relationship. The lead singer from Hooba Stank. He's moved on. That's the reason.
Well, it's a good thing nobody's breaking up with me.
No, he's
You
someone
okay?
is
So Brandon's
breaking
me
up.
breaking up. Oh, he would never do that.
Yeah, you can't even do it because
I
we're that
can't
tight.
even.
What up? Shout out, Cobb.
Maybe you're
God
too
damn
tight.
We'll never break up,
That's
bro.
what the problem is. You need to loosen up a little bit.
I can
I'll loosen you
totally
up.
break up with Matt though.
What? No, Wallen, no.
No, I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna take Rachel.
do it now. Oh.
I would just be like, excuse me, Matt. When you go ahead and go on tour, you can just stay in.
You guys would make
California.
a seriously hot couple, but I'm here to tell you, Wallen's a fighter. He's
I know,
a fighter.
it's terrible.
I love him. He's
You
a
can't
fighter.
fight from long distance though.
Oh,
What's he gonna do then?
Shit.
I make some hella good matzo ball, man. I could totally win that girl's heart.
crawl in the dark.
Well, now that we've come here, Hannah, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh man,
You're the
anytime.
reason that
Oh,
we had a
God. Why do we-
podcast today.
You just
Spin it.
wait. There's
God,
There's
you're
a
making
Hooba
me
Stank
spin
so
out of
bad.
control.
There's out of control,
You're
man.
making me spin out of control. You know what? I'm gonna crawl out of the dark and get out of this place.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the most dad yeah ever.
Shut up. But yeah.
Yeah.
Bitch, eat shit.
Oh, no.